Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Hector again from the Those Movie Guys podcast. I am here again, obviously, all up in your faces, all up in your feed, to talk about another one of my most anticipated films for 2014, which I did actually get around to watching in 2014 when it was in limited, but it just got released in worldwide, like national release. P.T. Anderson's, Paul Thomas Anderson's, Inherent Vice, adapted from Thomas Pynchon's novel, which I actually own a copy of, and there's a little bookmark. It's cool, right? It's like a hoot. It says, "Reading helps keep the imagination alive." Hoot! But yeah, I was very hype about this film. I love Paul Thomas Anderson. I loved the entire cast that he had. He had Joaquin Phoenix, Josh Brolin, Benicio del Toro, Martin Short, Catherine Waterston. You also had Eric Roberts and Reese Witherspoon. Duh, she's in the race for Best Actress. How can I forget her? I don't know. I was very anticipating this movie because of that cast, and I knew who Thomas Pynchon was. I knew he's this very eccentric writer. But then I heard that this was being made, and I was like, you know what? Let me pick up a Thomas Pynchon. Wow. Hope he's not watching this. Sorry. A Thomas Pynchon novel, and it was Inherent Vice, and I picked it up, and I started reading it, and I did like the book. Quite a bit, actually. It was this very fun stoner noir novel, and then, I was like, okay, I can see what PTA liked. I don't know where he's gonna take the book, but I sit here, obviously, to tell you guys that I really, really loved this movie. I know this movie has been very polarizing to many critics. Many people either love it or they hate it. I am in the love it category. I love this movie. It's a hell of a ride. It is very stoner noir, and you know what? Let me just tell you what the plot is a bit. The film is about Joaquin Phoenix character Larry Doc Sportello, who is a PI, private investigator, also a hippie, in the early 70s, where the 60s are going out of style and the 70s are coming in, and Joaquin Phoenix has an ex-girlfriend. Doc has an ex-girlfriend called Shasta Faye, who is dating an eccentric millionaire called Mickey Wolfman, and Mickey Wolfman is married. So Mickey Wolfman's wife tries to get Shasta into a plot to throw Mickey Wolfman into a loony bin so, they could take over the empire. And that's where the whole story kicks off. And from there on out, it's just hijinks after hijinks. A lot of people have been saying that they have a big gripe with the plot of the story. They don't know what the plot was. It involves plot, and it doesn't involve plot. It goes all over the place. I think this film, although it is a mystery, a noir, I think this movie is more about, the end of an era, from transitioning from the 60s into the 70s, because they do make a big point on that. And, right off the bat, Joaquin Phoenix was amazing as Doc Sportello. He always is. Joaquin Phoenix is awesome. He was great in The Master, which was a previous film he did do with Paul Thomas Anderson. He was great in Her as Theodore Twombly. And now here, I feel like this is the most fun he's had with the role, because this role was very, very funny, and it was very well acted. And from there, also, the scene stealer for me definitely was Josh Brolin as Detective Bigfoot Bjornson, who has this friendship with Doc Sportello, kind of. When he's not trying to screw him over, he is his friend. But I can't really focus in on the plot of this film, because although there is a plot, it's not very linear. There is, it is linear, but it's not very clear-cut what's going on. Some of this stuff just happens, and I don't question it, because it is, a film, and in film you have to suspend disbelief and just engross yourself in the environment that the film is taking place. And I really dug this movie. I thought it was very well directed. As always, the cinematography in all of P.T. Anderson's films are top-notch. And he always uses Los Angeles as a character of his films, and Los Angeles did play a grand character in the film. I do think the feel was very 70s-ish. as I said, this movie might be frustrating for people who want a clear-cut story, but I didn't mind that. And I'm a guy that's very heavy on stories. I like story in a film to be clear-cut, but with this film, I was just like, you know what? I know what I'm getting into, and I just dug it. I let the film take me into, its world, its kookiness, its craziness, and I dug it. I was like, hell yeah, I'm along for the ride. I love this. And, one last thing to be said, Martin Short was awesome in this movie. Granted, he's not in it a lot, but he is great in his scenes that he does share on screen with Joaquin Phoenix. It's great. He's a bit of a creep, but it's Martin Short, so you love him. And all in all, I do give this movie a grand recommendation to film lovers. Even if you're a casual moviegoer, I say give it a shot. I'm not gonna guarantee that you'll love it as much as I do, or maybe even like it at all. But take a shot. And then. I feel like this is a movie that you might have fun with it. It is a funny film. It's not like ha 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 funny, but it does have ha ha moments. So just give it a shot. There's a lot of awful movies out there. It wouldn't kill you to watch something that is a bit more different, out of the comfort zone, isn't very by the numbers action movies or comedy movies. I say check it out. And as always, guys, if you like what you've seen here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, freaking give me a comment, do something, help me out, guys. Just make sure you share this, and we are bringing big things to this channel. Brandon and I are going to be doing a lot more with this channel, and we hope that you guys can be along for the ride with us. And as always, kids, don't do drugs, just watch movies.